It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Let's get to it. Oh, by the way, could be the fact that I went to sleep at 5:55 p.m. yesterday.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Really?
I had the best night's
For
sleep.
the night?
I had the best night's sleep I've had since moving to Minnesota last night.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
What-
Like basically 6 to 3:30.
Are
So
you going
I
to be
am
able to
just.
nap before the gig today?
Oh, I'll be napping within an hour. Yeah, I've been up since 3:30. What are you kidding?
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Here's your top 5 at 6 for a Friday. Here's a poll to share with you. What's your favorite gas station chain? Americans have weighed in. Oddly enough, thousands of people are like, "Oh yeah, I've got a favorite. I want to talk about it." In the Midwest, there's a big emphasis on pizza at gas stations. So Casey's General Store has done very, very well, but also thanks to their generous rewards programs, Speedway hitting top marks.
Speedway, they do have the rocket fuel, I call it. And not all Speedways, but they have that high octane stuff that I certainly do not need for my pickup, but for the motorcycle.
Oh,
every
I
once in a
gotcha.
while, you look for a little more octane for the motorcycle.
All right, good to know.
Gets her running good. So you'll find some of those. You'll get 93 at some of the Speedways, but
I'm still salty about the Super America thing, though.
what about the Super America thing?
Because it was Super America, and now it's Speedway, and I just I can't make the change.
Oh,
Right.
really? Okay.
Yeah, I just actually forgot about that until you just mentioned it. Now I'm salty about it, too. Thanks. Steve got me in a good mood. Ryder pissed me off.
There it is.
It never fit the jingle, though. The convenience stores of
Super America.
It's supposed to be Speedway. I'm a holiday man myself.
Are you?
Are you?
Yes,
Holiday guy.
I do like the holidays. I'm a bit of a quick trip guy when it comes to eating. For gas, it's whatever's on my side of the road. Otherwise, quick trip. That's like a redneck spa, man. I've taken dates to quick trip.
Rosemary's big on holiday because of the ice.
Oh, they've got good
likes
ice?
the chewy nugget ice there. Specific ice.
When I was dispatching the cable guys, they would say, if you have to go to the bathroom, get yourself to a holiday. If you're looking for food, though, Casey's was the top choice.
Oh, okay. Well, you can do both. You can hit one and then follow up with the other.
They did.
Down south, of course, Buc-ee's and Texas and the South. Those are not the same things. Don't ever say Texas is a southern state. Buc-ee's dominating. Really 2 reasons. One, the bathrooms are incredible.
I understand.
You cannot overstate the greatness of a Buc-ee's restroom.
I know truckers here in Minnesota. In fact, I may be receiving a text from one of my buddies here who's not a trucker, who's also brought up Buc-ee's. Been out on the road. Man, have you ever been to a Buc-ee's down in the Southeast?
He didn't pull in there in his big rig. They don't allow truckers.
Oh, they don't?
That's the thing about Buc-ee's. It's not trucks.
No, that's where they want to go. They have to go to the bathroom there or something like that.
Yeah, you got to park across the street. Yeah, they won't let you pull that big rig on the lot, man.
All right, well, that's why Paul found it then. He was just out on a road trip, I guess.
He got tired of that Lucky J's or whatever, those
Flying
nasty
J's
Flying J. Whatever. Listen to me. It's like the world's a slot machine. Lucky J's. Number 4 on your top 5 at 6. A company in the United Kingdom has created a new AI program. It's a grandmother bot. Check this out. It's a grandmother. Grandmas just love to chew the fat and bend your ear.
Yeah.
This is not a grandma bot that you interact with. It's a grandma bot. Its name is Daisy. And this is for when a scammer calls you on the phone, you can somehow get the bot to take over the call.
Yeah.
And then she just bends their ear for hours. It's like a prank call, but in reverse.
Yeah, when that unknown number comes in, you just kick it over to Daisy. Here are some examples. Again, just AI. This is not a real grandmother.
So W is then a dot.
3 times W and then dot.
I think your profession is bothering people, right?
I'm just trying to have a little chat.
It's nearly been an hour.
Gosh, how time flies. It's showing me a picture of my cat, Fluffy.
It's showing you the picture of your cat, Fluffy.
Stop calling me dear, you stupid.
Got it, dear. Because while they're busy talking to me, they can't be scamming you. And let's face it, dear, I've got all the time in the world.
That's easy.
I don't believe that.
It's pretty great. Yeah, you get an unknown number calling your phone, you just hit a button, and boom, Daisy takes the call for you. It's incredible.
I like it. She had a scammer or, telemarketer, whomever, on the phone for an hour.
Yeah. Man, that's good stuff. Finally, AI is starting to pay for itself, in my opinion. Number 3 on your top 5 at 6. Tonight on Netflix, Mike Tyson steps into the ring against Jake Paul.
What
Mike
the
Tyson, 58-year-old former heavyweight champion, one of the great unicorns in sporting history, much less boxing history, will step into the squared circle against a complete douchebag. And my God, is there anyone on earth not hoping to see Tyson take this kid's head off?
I mean, I'm going to be at a show tonight celebrating National Drummer Day. I'm not going to catch this. I'll catch it again maybe on streaming, but I just want that old Iron Mike back for about 39 seconds.
That's all we need.
You know, just race across and just put this dipshit on his ass.
I'm a little nervous about it.
I am too.
58 years old, that's
You're telling me.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I did hear an interview. Of course, Mike Tyson's out doing all the interviews. He was on an NFL show, and I was annoyed for a moment, but I'm like, all right, I'm going to listen to this. He said, now I know this is just what Mike was saying, but he said that he didn't think he could get himself in this kind of shape at 58.
Yeah.
And he really is ready to go.
Right.
So
I hope so.
I don't know what's his name? Jake Paul. I don't know what he's all about as far as a fighter goes. He was never a professional fighter.
No, but
right?
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
I mean, there's enough people, credible sources going, no, don't think he is not a legitimate heavyweight boxer. He's not a WBA champ or anything like that, but he knows what he's doing. And 27 in top shape against 58 in top shape, it's just a huge difference. If this was 21-year-old Mike Tyson, this would be against the law.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's on Netflix tonight, if you so choose. Netflix, your new home. Trust me, they're just getting into it now. 5 years from now, every sporting event that matters will be only on streamers.
Right.
The networks are looking at that pasture. Oh, boy. And number 2, speaking of looking at the pasture, number 2 on your top 5 at 9, Lindsey Vonn is coming out of retirement. So much for staring out the window at that pasture. She intends to race again at the age of 40. She has not appeared in the Olympics in 6 years. Lindsey Vonn, a woman whose knees have suffered more than any 10 people you know.
Yeah.
Broken arms to go with broken legs, knee ligaments, concussions, everything. She had surgery in April for a partial knee replacement and says for the first time in years she's pain-free.
Yeah.
So I guess
why not get
go
out there?
back to the source of all of your pain.
I mean,
athletes are just all the same. Man, you get so used to that level of just the adrenaline and the mixed with fear and aggressiveness and all that. There's nothing in the real world that can replace it, I guess.
Yeah, and she's a downhiller. I mean, the speed events, the downhill, the Super G, and those disciplines, among others. Yeah, you're a bit of a daredevil. Not a bit of a daredevil. You're a full-on daredevil as well. You're a speed freak.
Yep.
And she's chasing that. But there's something else going on here, too. So she comes back for the 25 season. In 26, the Olympics in February are in Italy. And she has dominated on that downhill course in Italy. So she can come back if she can stay healthy.
Yeah.
And if anyone can do it, she's a physical specimen. I've had a chance to interview her many times. Lindsay Kildow, still to me, her Minnesota name.
Oh, that's right.
Born right here in Minnesota. And I think was just a young teenager when they moved down to Vail because they said, you got to get this kid, into a more serious racing circuit.
Right.
And then it was Lindsey Vonn and gold medals and lots and lots of World Cup
amazing
wins.
that at 9 years old, it was like, you have to take her to Colorado.
Yeah.
Well, because all we had here was Buck Hill.
Yeah.
Like, that's where she would practice.
That was her
Buck
place.
Hill, little old Buck Hill. Go look at the pictures in there someday. They've produced some Olympic medals out of Buck Hill with skiers. But you're right. Eventually, you've got to move up to the big time.
As a parent of 2 at one time young athletes, I mean, I knew right away, like, they'll both have fun and be good. There's not, your kid is not going to be Lindsey Vonn unless she's Lindsey Vonn. And again, the point is, by the age of 9, everyone knows. If your 13-year-old kid is still trying to figure it out, just hit the books, kid.
Yeah.
Hit the books. Hey, want to give a quick morning shout out to Savage, Minnesota. Savage, or as I prefer to say, Savage.
Good old Savage. Often overlooked, just kind of the stepchild down there, sandwiched between Shakopee and Prairie Lake and Burnsville.
Not today. Not right now. It's all about you, Savage.
Love
we
you,
love you.
Savage, yeah.
Hey, if you're not going to watch that Tyson fight on Netflix tonight, why don't you... Here's your number 1 story on the top 5 at 6. Come by First Avenue to see Golden Smog, Big Rock Show. Yeah. All of your buddies from KQRS will be there. Yeah. I'll be sitting on stage pretending I know how all the songs are supposed to end. That's what if you're wondering what's going on in his mind right now, you'll be like, this song sounds good. What's Steve thinking? Steve's thinking, is this the one that hits those diamond 4 beats at the end, or does this just fade? And then we'll just end the song and I'll get on to the next one. That's what's going to be happening up there tonight.
Comes naturally to you. Happy National Drummer Day, by the way.
Oh, is that today?
That's today. It's national.
Guys, I'm taking the rest of the day off. I did not realize it was National Drummer Day, but if there's one day I can get up in the middle of a show and leave.
Strange. National Drummer Day doesn't actually start until 10 a.m.
Yeah, 10:01.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it does. I'm looking at it.
That's the problem with drummers. They just can't get it straight, man. You step off that kit and time is an abstract concept. All right, there's your top 5 at 6 for a Friday. Uber Eats has put out a cravings report, and I just want you people to know that you're all really weird. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
It is Friday, November the 15th. Did I mention that I got a gig at First Avenue tonight? Come on out to see the Golden Smog. We're all going to be there.
Yeah, right. There'll be elbow room, I guess. I'm thinking about that Jack White show. I hope it's not that packed. I know you want a packed place, man. That was crazy.
That was a little goofy. Let's not kid ourselves. I just saw Jack White. In fact, speaking of him, he's doing this whole tour where he just announces the show the day before.
Yeah.
And then just this morning he posted, or late last night, an actual proper tour with all the dates ahead of time. And people, I'm sure people are like, hey, thanks, dude. Appreciate you giving me a little bit of heads up here. Okay, so Uber Eats, the delivery service.
I know them well.
We all know them very well. Probably more than we would ever want anybody. People say, what if you had to share your browsing history? Just don't look at my Uber Eats history. That's all I ask of you. They released their annual cravings report, and that includes a list of the most unique food combos people have ordered this year. Across America, here's some odd combos that they see regularly. Scallops and boiled eggs.
What? All right.
Fajitas and French onion soup.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I'd like to get some of those fajitas and yeah, the French onion. I'm going for it.
We could be talking about a couple of different orders here. This is just household.
I guess it would have to be, but it just seems like there's a lot of people that are very confused. Fried fish sticks and green tea. Like, that's just one order. That's it. I need fried fish sticks, and I'm going to need that green tea. That's somebody who's thinking they can counteract, well, green tea's good for me. It's like I spoke to a guy once, a friend, a lovely man who happened to have a little heroin habit. And he told me, well, I eat a lot of garlic. It's good for the blood. And I was like, well, then no problem.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Shoot up.
So you're telling me that, sure.
That's like the pizza and all the hot hoagies I eat all week long. And then I'll pop a one a day, once a week.
Once a week.
Like on a Thursday, and it gives me a bellyache. My body's going, what the F is this with the vitamins, man?
I got on a multivitamin kick once in my early 30s. Someone gave me the whole spiel, and I bought it like hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. And you know what happened? My skin broke out like I was 15 years old. I took vitamins for like 4 days, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, can you get some Oxy 30,000 to go with all these zits I have now in my 30s? What the hell is with these vitamins you're giving me?
Yeah.
I like this one here, only because it makes me think of another weird friend of mine. Pepperoni pizza and anchovies. You ever do anchovies on pizza?
I love anchovies.
Really?
I love them, man.
I could never get into it, man.
Get them from Pizza Luce. You get their Caesar salad with extra anchovies, and they don't know when to stop. Mm-hmm. I think they use the anchovies in lieu of lettuce. It's so salty and so good.
I like salt. I like a lot of things, but man, I have tried the anchovy train. It's never ever gotten out of the station for me. You know
why for years I didn't try anchovies? Greg Bowe. Daryl Bowe, my high school, school boy buddy or whatever. I'd always do lover, thank you. Okay. Would always do sleepovers over there, and his older brother Greg, who might be listening this morning.
Yeah.
And was never the... Anyway.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. I forgot what I was saying now.
Anchovies.
I was thinking of kissing Daryl Bowe, and it was weird.
You wouldn't eat anchovies.
Because of that damn Jay Giles album he used to always play. No anchovies.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I know what you're talking about.
That was a long way to get there.
The number one the most popular special request, across Uber Eats is no onions. And that reminds me, when I toured with a band called Stereophonics, Welsh band, the guitar player on that tour is a guy named Scott James. His mom was a taster at a food place. She had like the most specified high definition taste buds. So she was like a chemist, but then, she was a scientist of some sort, but she could put a bite of food in her mouth and tell you every single thing that was in that meal. But it was like a company used her to say, she'd say, that's too much garlic, that's too much whatever.
Cool.
But it was like her whole life was her taste buds, and he inherited a lot of that. He could not eat anything garlic or onion. If a pan had garlic in it the day before and been washed, he would know that you used that for garlic, didn't you? I mean, it sounds like a curse. No, eating out with him was unbearable for him. You just feel so bad. He'd be like, I specifically said no onion, and I do have a little bit. And they'd be like, "Sir, there's no onions in that." He goes, "Yes, I know, but I asked
somewhere in the building.
But I asked you if you used onions in the same pans, and you said no."
Lord.
And it was like,
you could detect that.
oh yeah,
Wow.
like incredible.
Here, enjoy your rice cake.
Yeah, he was. He's a good guitarist, and then, but ultimately, what that turns into is you realize, oh, he's a bore. I can't take this. I just want to go out and eat and just to drink a beer and not worry about it.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Steve Gorman, this is the KQ Morning Show. It is Friday, November the 15th. We're just having a good old time in the studio today. Why wouldn't we? That's how much we love history. Let's look back. You know that's true. On this day in 1998, big day in the NFL, Emmitt Smith of the Cowboys went into third all-time touchdown list. He got his 127th. Barry Sanders of the Detroit Lions on this very day registered his fifth straight 100-yard running game. That was his 75th 100-yard game.
You know, who's
Barry
counting?
Sanders running with an offensive line made up of you, Tony, me, and Ryder, and he could not be stopped.
Poor guy.
I know, and Emmitt Smith had the wall. They literally called that offensive line the wall.
Imagine Barry Sanders on any current day roster in the NFL. There's not an offensive line in the league right now that could compare to the inanity of the Lions in the 90s. They didn't give him any help ever.
You know what? It gave us a hell of a lot of highlights.
Yeah, it did. Oh, my God.
You go to a YouTube reel and watch Barry Sanders highlights, you don't have enough time in the evening.
He'd have 30 yards before he hit the line of scrimmage. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There's a hole gone.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. By the way, that year, Robert Smith was averaging 4.8 yards per carry that season. And for his career, 4.8.
Yep.
Nice run there, Bob.
Speed kills, man.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zep, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
Friday, November the 15th. Very glad to be with you this morning. Question of the day. If you could control an MnDOT, how do you say that? MnDOT?
MnDOT.
MnDOT sign, a Minnesota Department of Transportation highway sign. You could put anything on there you want. What would it say? And the reason this comes to mind, apparently somebody got a hold of a system and hacked in Florida and took control of one of those signs and simply put in 3 words. Large penis ahead.
Put on your brights.
I mean, I assume that's always a valid statement. I mean, there's someone's hanging somewhere.
And behind. Maybe surrounded by large penises.
But, it just got us thinking. There's another example that Zep found where somebody wrote simply, "Welcome to Fart City." Come on, that's funny,
Yes,
man.
it is. Especially when you're sitting there in traffic. I tell you, I made the mistake of rolling out into it at 5 p.m. last night. And you folks out there, God bless you.
Where were you? Where did you have to go at 5 o'clock yesterday?
I was just, trucking around the cities, going between St. Paul and Minneapolis. That dreaded drive at 5 p.m. And it, just gridlock. And I thought, man,
I had a few of those this week rehearsing for the gig tonight over in St. Paul, and then coming back to Minneapolis. Yesterday, thankfully, we got out early. We had an earlier rehearsal. But yeah, I had Tuesday and Wednesday, like 5:15. Okay, see you tomorrow, guys. And I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, just crawling up University for miles because the highway's just impossible. Anyway,
We're like a captive audience.
Hit us up on the KQ text line, 651-989-ROCK, or go to the KQRS Facebook page and let us know what your sign would say. We've already gotten a bunch of good ones we'll share with you. But first things first, how do we all feel about roundabouts? Tony, you good with them?
No, I don't like them. They make me nervous, and they're weird. And
Really?
Yeah, I like the idea of them, but they bother me.
Yeah.
When I see one that's coming up, I'm like, hey, make sure you yield, and then you go.
Oh, my God.
No, I don't like them.
That is, my buddy.
Spaz out.
Speaking of MnDOT, I've got a good friend that works at MnDOT, and many years ago, he was telling us, going in with these traffic circles. We're like, this isn't Europe, man. We don't want your traffic circles. They suck. Now, every time I come to a four-way stop, I'm like, why the hell didn't they put a traffic circle in?
Once you get used to it. Ryder, you cool with these things?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really dig them.
I like to go right up and over them. Just cut it right in half.
Straight
Take
down.
the radius,
Well, there's someone posted a pretty great video. A dude, he's in the roundabout, and a very large, big black pickup truck enters the roundabout, and he and the other driver, well, let's just say they didn't see eye to eye on who had the right of way.
What are you doing, dude? Dude, that's not how that works. I have the straight. I have the straight. You were coming through here.
You have the yield, dude.
I don't have the yield. Nobody in the track. Everyone coming in has the yield. I promise you that.
You hit my shit?
No, I didn't hit. Did you hit my shit? Is a question, man. I do too, mother. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's fun.
Meeting of the minds.
You have to. You're already in the round. This guy's telling the one car was already in the roundabout, and the guy entering is saying, "You're supposed to yield."
Yeah,
no, honey, that's not how that works. I have a feeling the guy in the truck was listening to like Metallica. The way he was hot hopping. There's video too, by the way.
Oh yeah, he got down. He was checking his bumper out because then they pulled over. Of course, you got to do the pullover and the posturing and the whole thing.
The posturing's great. We're just the video cuts off before the guy who knows what he's talking about could throw in a hair club for men joke, but you knew it was about to happen. You knew it was right around the corner.
Back east they call these things traffic circles, and some years ago when they first started going, they caught up with an old timer on the news here talking about why he doesn't dig traffic circles.
We didn't have tornadoes here until we started putting into traffic circles. Because on the counter, you want to know why? When people go round and round in circles, it causes disturbance in the atmosphere and causes tornadoes.
Yeah, that's... So I guess...
What's this button for?
See, you just don't think about the ramifications.
Between the tornadoes being caused by the traffic circles and all those damn windmills and all that cancer. It's just... we got to stop going in circles, ladies and gentlemen.
Because on the counter, you want to know why?
I tell you what, man, as the young teenage Steve Gorman who was OCD to the nines, I had so many weird quirks. If I ever turned a complete circle, I was aware of it all day until I reversed it and went back the other way. If you are like playing sports, like there's times when you will just do a circle. Like you're guarding a guy, he goes left, he keeps going left, and then you jump and you make a switch and then you turn and I would be aware of the fact that I've just done a circle. I have to circle back to stay straight.
At some point you'd have to adjust.
Yeah, I would always know. Okay, wow. I got 2 circles before bed tonight.
I would have never thought of that.
I wish I would have never thought of that. That's called living a life that no one asked for. Is what that's called. Yeah, the roundabout thing it's pretty astounding. If you're not thrilled with the average roundabout, man, have you ever been to just off the top of my head, like Paris?
Yes.
The Arc de Triomphe, that very famous landmark.
Oh, mayhem.
They don't have, there are no lanes painted on the road. There are Like it's you can put 16 cars side by side, all going in a circle, coming in from 8 or 9 different spokes into that.
Fascinating.
And I've been there, and you sit in the car and you just think, I sure as hell hope this guy knows what he's doing, because it does not make any sense.
It's like Go Dog Go.
It is exactly like Go Dog Go. I go down Instagram rabbit holes, and it's just traffic in other parts of the world, and all you think is like, how does anybody have any idea what's happening here?
Yeah, European
Absolutely
vacation.
incredible.
That was
That's it. That's
hey,
it.
kids, look, Big Ben.
God.
You're completely stuck, man. There's no getting out. All right, so if you got control of a sign, Tony, you got a MnDOT sign, anywhere in the metro, it doesn't have to be in a specific place. But I'm saying, I'm going to give you one sign. What are you putting up there?
I would go with some kind of non sequitur of some sort. I'd put like, honk if you love Triscuits. Just to make people do double takes. Or the lizard circus is back.
Jed on the Facebook page, this is what he would put: Lutefisk, breakfast of champions.
That's a good one.
That's strong. Yeah. Drive fast, take chances, YOLO. That's a good one. Yeah.
Drink more Ovaltine, according to Steve here.
That's good. That's good. There's a few. Here's several of these on the text line. Quit tailgating. Stop cutting off semi-trucks. Yeah, the truckers are weighing in here. And
yeah.
I have a blanket statement to all truckers. Sorry, man. We're the worst. I mean, I watch people constantly ride right on a semi's ass and then get right over and pass it and immediately cut it off getting back. Man, people just leave. My mom used to say, honey, he's at work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
His office. That was her thing about leave. Just give them all the space that you would ever want. She's like, honey, they're at work now.
If for no other reason, you're not going to ever win that one.
No.
There is no fender bender with a semi.
Right.
You're flat.
That's a very good point. I think if there's not a word limit, I would just put some like horrific thing that sort of sounds like poetry but makes no sense.
Something with a lot of words.
Friendship spawned in true brotherhood can't gainsay itself against all others. They're like what? Just some word salad. Oh man.
Of course, I couldn't help myself messing with people. I'd put something up there like, I don't know. Right now, your spouse is home cheating on you, or something like that.
or no, just think of Mike. Debbie's a whore. What? What the hell? Because someone out there named Mike is dating a girl named Debbie.
Oh, you know it.
Mike, I didn't know how to tell you this. Debbie hit on me at the bar last night. Just waiting for someone to drive by and go, what the hell? Right. Matt on the Facebook page. Visiting in-laws, slow down. Get there late.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
There'll be a lot of that coming up in a couple of
Here's
weeks.
another good one. Watch out for the moron reading this. That's it. Oh, and by the way, Tom, I'm with you. Two things here. Tom wrote, dim your frickin' high beams.
Yeah.
Okay, big supporter of that one. And secondly, my God, when it's raining, put your lights on. How hard is it?
Right. Come
How
on.
hard is it?
It's just,
it's the law.
When in doubt, just turn the damn things on. It's not like the lights at home. You're not paying for the electricity.
Yeah, and it's also not so you can see better. It's so we can see you. How hard is this? I used to be, I've always been pretty good with these things. But I will admit, as a young driver, I was terrible about not using turn signals. I would just, because in my mind, I'm like, well, no one's here. No one sees. It doesn't matter. I got time to. And then, at some point, somebody said, if you just use them every single time, you don't have to think about anything. You never are in the wrong if you have your signal on. And it finally clicked. I was probably in my mid-40s. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been driving like a douche for 30 years. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I really thought I was above turn signals for some reason.
And there's no reason that it bothers me, but it does bother me when someone's going around the curve. They're already in the lane. You use your turn signal. If you're changing, you're going into another lane. Mm-hmm. If you're in that lane and that lane is going right anyway, you don't have to turn on your turn signal, but it'll bother me. Some people do it on curves. I'm like, yes, where else are you going to go? Thanks for making me aware that you're not veering into the ditch at this moment.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, want to say good morning to our friends in Wyoming, Minnesota.
Hey, what's going on there, Wyoming?
I feel like I have to add Minnesota to that because, I was as confused as the next guy the first time I saw that sign.
Yeah.
Wyoming, what the hell?
Wyoming, Minnesota. Minnesota town slogan, just keep driving.
I just thought,
keep moving.
Well, I when I first saw a sign for Wyoming, I thought, how stoned am I?
Missed my exit.
Well, I didn't think I'd gone that far. Yeah. What in the hell is happening here? We see all kinds of things. People doing all sorts of inane activities to try to get attention. Maybe you want to find yourself in the Guinness Book of World Records, and so you're thinking, how many buggers can I eat today? Whatever it is. A YouTuber is going for a new world record, and this is about as dumb as it gets. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
It's Friday, November the 15th. Good morning if you're just joining us. We're talking about MnDOT signs. What would you put? A guy hacked into a Florida Department of Transportation sign and put 3 words up there. Large penis ahead. A very large sign on the highway, large penis ahead. If you had access to a sign, what words of wisdom? What inspirational quote? What would you throw up there? You can text us at 651-989-ROCK or go to the Facebook page for KQRS. We have many submissions, many of which we will be sharing with you. That's pretty great stuff. But here's something that's happening right now down under. An Australian kid. His name is Norm. With an E. So would that be Normé, like Mel Normé?
Normie.
Get it? Mel Torme.
The Velvet Fog.
What's that?
What is it? The Velvet Fog?
Mel Torme.
That's right.
Velvet Fog.
Wow. A 19-year-old YouTuber dude named Norm May. He's trying to break a world record. Now, we talked about him on the show last year. He went for a world record where he was attempting to go the longest ever without sleep, without any sort of supplements. He was trying to stay awake for 12 days. And he was doing this live on YouTube and Stitch and a few other of these platforms. They all shut him down because YouTube's like, you can die, you idiot. We're not going to have people watching you on our platform not sleep because not sleeping is not a good way to live.
I mean, let me know if he's getting close to death, then I'll tune in.
He ended up getting kicked off YouTube. Oh, Kick was the other site he was on, going for this world record. Well, now Norm is back. He's attempting to break the world record by locking himself in a room for 1 full month with no light. 0 light whatsoever. He's been in there since October 16th. He's damn near about to do it because as of our latest report, he still hadn't come out yet. So this is November 15th. He's been in a room with no light at all for a month.
I'm guessing he has like 1 billion viewers, probably.
I'm not sure.
Is everyone just sitting there watching a black screen?
Well, that's the thing. That's the gig, isn't it? Like, who knows? But I know this. We were talking about this the other day, Ryder. The quietest room in the world here in Minnesota.
Yes.
Orfield Lab.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You can go in there. You got to pay money to go sit in the quiet. You can hear your own heart. You can hear the blood flowing through your veins, apparently.
Yeah.
You can hear all you can hear every voice of every girl you never had the guts to ask out.
Maddening.
Yeah, like every coach you ever had, you're lazy. The things you could hear in that room, I can only imagine.
Oh, maybe I finally remember where I put that other damn truck key. You know how much they cost to replace a key fob these days?
Not easy.
Like
$100s.
$80?
No,
more than that.
Hundreds.
My Ram truck, $400.
Yeah.
$400?
Oh yeah, they get more expensive than that.
Yeah. We had about a 250 fob replacement, and that's 8-9 years ago. And I was like, by God, this is never happening again, kids.
Put me in the quiet room. I want to find that fob.
I tell you what. You put me in a quiet room with no light, no sound for a month, and I will truly hear all the ghosts of my past. They will come and visit me.
Yeah.
I had when I was in 11th grade, my basketball coach at halftime, he said, there was a play. I got fouled, and I guess I was maybe a little overly dramatic on the court, but this guy looked at me and he said, Gorman, you are the passivest player I've ever had.
Pacifist?
Pacifist. And I looked at him and said, most passive. I corrected his English while he's telling me I'm the biggest pussy he's ever coached, and I corrected.
Out of that?
And he just looked at me. No, he realized this kid's a lost cause.
No excuse.
He just turned around and walked away. Like, what could I do? I tried. There's no getting through to this knucklehead. But by the way, fun fact, had a great senior year. My dad split, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, I like basketball. Who knew? But yeah, you put me in a quiet room for a month with no light, no sound, no anything. I'm a babbling lunatic. There's no way I could go 30 days in that setting.
And he's doing this in a totally dark room.
Dark, no light whatsoever.
How's he YouTubing?
I don't. Well, I guess he just locked the door and the camera. I don't know how this is working. I don't know if this one's actually on. But to your point, yeah, I guess they just have a camera on the door. He goes in, an unbroken stream, and then 30 days later he'll open the door. We'll find out. What are you doing for food? How are they getting it? What they can only open the door at night? I don't know how any of this is working.
I'm only mildly interested.
I just know that if you're 19 years old and you have all this energy to try to do all these things, just crack a book, get a job.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Although he's probably going to end up making $1 million, and the joke is on us.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's always the joke, isn't it? Yeah, I see. Every time I hear about a YouTuber that I've never heard of, because I've never heard of any of them, the next thing I do is look them up, and it'll say he earned $31 million last year, sitting in a room in the dark.
Why can't we come up with an idea of some sort to capitalize on that?
Just not quite dumb enough. Idiocracy, man. Just gotta smoke more pot, I guess.
It's a start. You know what? And by the way, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it for America. My son, Colin Gorman, lives out in L.A. He's got a part-time job working at a gym, like at a fitness center.
Yeah.
He's the guy who's checking people in. How you doing? Good to see you. And I'm like, dude, working at a fitness center in L.A. is like, that's a great place to meet people.
No kidding.
Are you kidding?
Hello, ladies.
But I'm just realizing that I'm reading this story at a Planet Fitness gym in Indianapolis. They have tanning beds. And last weekend, one of the people working at this Planet Fitness in Indianapolis got a call. Hey, go check out the tanning beds, would you? Something kind of weird happening up there.
Yeah.
Kid walks into the room, opens a tanning bed. Oh, and there's a dead body.
He cooked.
Right there in the tanning bed. The body was wearing an ankle monitor. It was somebody who had apparently recently been released from jail and had an ankle monitor attached.
I didn't think you were supposed to leave the pad with the ankle monitor
I guess not. There was a noticeable foul smell. It had been reported for the whole weekend.
Yeah. Before the worker found it, just someone there looking for a little fitness, a young gal found the smell.
Nobody ever thinks you're going to go to a gym on a Monday morning and, potentially be in the same building as a dead body. And I was kind of like sniffing, trying not to look crazy, but I was like, something smells really awful here. The first thing that kind of went off in my head was, lack of attention from the staff members at Planet Fitness, which is pretty disappointing because maybe it could have been prevented. And the tanning bed has a door, I believe. But still, why are we not concerned that the door has been closed for 3 days in a row, potentially?
Totally.
She's real happy to be talking into a microphone.
She sounds like the kind of person that goes and gets a tanning every once in a while. Well, I mean, I hope this doesn't seem insensitive, but if it's open casket, it's going to have a killer tan.
Oh, gosh, it's going to look great. No, very few touch-ups needed.
You think with the ankle monitor, I'm reading in the story, they also found a needle in there. I don't know what that means. It just says they found a needle in there. Maybe he didn't... but you're right. If you fell asleep with those things on, aren't there a timer on them, Tony? I don't know, but you're right. He cooked in there.
Well, he's probably just a Neil Young fan because you know that song, I found the needle in the tanning bed.
I thought you were going
the UV rays, they all went to my head. The damage done. I think those are the lyrics.
That wailing harmonica.
Something like that. Something about, hey, it's $1 million idea. See, I'm just trying. Maybe our YouTube channel is us rewriting Neil Young songs for the current stories of the day.
I like that her nose cut through the gym smell, just the funky gym smell for the dead. Must have really been stinking it up in there.
I tell you what, and we've all smelled some funky gym smells in the day too. Yeah. If it goes beyond general funky gym smell, that's a rough odor.
Yeah, Jim never bathes.
That's
like an animal.
That's some pungent activity for sure.
Yeah.
Ever been in a tanning bed? I've never have, and I'm not saying I never wouldn't have, but I never did.
Yeah, back in the day when I was it's been decades, but back in the day when they were coming along, and before you ran off to Mexico or Florida, you'd want to just take off some of that Minnesota Bright.
You didn't.
Just
true.
It's like you tell the barber, just take a little off the top. Your tanning bed, just take a little off the minute. Get a little less Minnesota break. Tony, you were a big tanner back in the day.
Take off the it was like the late '80s. Everybody was doing that to get a little tone. Yeah.
Now you get paint. Now that you get the airbrush, you don't.
Did you put on those like plastic goggles? I just remember those things they put on.
And they had the spray ones too. You'd stand there and you get sprayed.
Did you go nude?
Yeah.
You did.
Well, what kind of question is that? It's Tony Lee.
That's true. I mean, he
before I got in there.
Tony's nude right now. There's not a tanning bed within 5 miles of this place.
I did not do that. I was worried about it. I thought it would burn my wiener. That's sensitive skin, man.
Yeah. Ryder, ever tanning bed in the past?
Yeah, the station I worked at in South Dakota, one of our clients was a tanning salon. So yeah, I've tried it out. And mostly I would just do it when it was like, 10 below in the winter, like just to like feel the heat and warm up, not to actually get any sort of color. Yeah.
Fair enough.
There was one in the Final Destination series. And a couple of the young gals got locked in.
Oh.
Freaky.
Cooked to death.
Yeah.
Scorched.
Man, back to the MnDOT signs. We've got the text line has exploded, and they're getting more and more profane. The more people, they're just we can't really read the actual text messages you're sending. But right lane is for passing only. Get the blank over from Warren. That's just one of the very many. We all have. Oh boy, here's one. Road workers ahead. Don't slow down. Oof.
Well, no. Well, here's something a bit more inviting and friendly, I think, from Michelle. I'm sorry, I didn't think about it. Turn your dials to KQRS.
Hey!
Oh, hey, Michelle.
Put the 92.5 up there also, if you would. F this shat. I need some Zeppelin. That works for me.
Steve texted and he said, I was driving through Boston on a road trip, and the traffic signs read, "You need to slow down. You need to calm down." That's hilarious. That's like, and in Boston, he said that probably pissed off some assholes.
Oh, my God.
The angriest base of humans on planet Earth is Boston, Massachusetts.
Wouldn't be surprised if that one ended up with a couple of bullet holes in it.
Man, I guarantee it, man. I can't. These signs will not abide. I can't have these signs. Cue everyone's horrible Kennedy impressions. It's incredible. Oh my God, I'm reading. I can't read any of these signs. These text messages are coming in.
No, they are pretty.
Best side. This is one that came in. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
Yes. Oh my God, that's my favorite. That's my new favorite.
Oh, and I suggested stuff about Mike and Debbie or whatever. Someone wrote this one. Mike, Jenny has crabs. That could be the sign.
Randy. Acting Randy, honk if you're wearing a thong. Sure.
Yeah, right. Everyone turns around.
Totally checks out. No shortage of thongs out there. Again, just trying to get through the winter months and pretend it's summer.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would say construction, expect delays with arrows pointing in all directions.
Oh, my way or the highway. That's clever. I like that one. Thank you, Charlie.
I like caution, circle, jerk ahead. That one is from my dad.
Better speed up.
Jim.
From your dad?
Yeah.
Jimbo gets a high five on that one. That's beautiful.
Does he ever go out with his buddies weekend night?
Caution, human head ahead. Police are investigating a human head that washed ashore at a tourist beach in South Florida. Key Biscayne, Florida, this week.
That's a busy beach.
At 8:30 in the morning. What? Holy smokes, a human head washed ashore, as they say.
Last week we were talking about it, or earlier this week, feet washing ashore. That's been happening a lot. But a foot's nothing. A head?
A spokesman in Key Biscayne said they're not investigating this as a homicide just yet.
That was
a gardening accident.
It does appear to be an adult male. I do know this is a true boy. Talk about a horrific story. I know a person, a bus driver that we had in the early 90s took his own life. He cut his own head off.
How? With what?
With like a bandsaw thing in his garage. Some kind of a rotor automatic. Yeah, this true. It's horrible. I can't believe I shared this. I feel so bad. But that's this guy, and he lived in Florida. So, I'm just saying.
How do you finish the job? You think just as you start, it would lights out?
I don't know.
You gotta rig something up.
It was one of those really bizarre stories, and it was like urban legend, like that didn't really, and then we found out it was absolutely true.
He cut his own head off. I mean, you're saying something about that. That's a statement suicide.
It is.
I don't know what it is, but
the statement is no, really. I did it. I figured it out.
Yeah, I don't condone it, certainly, but maybe for that person, it was the best way to go.
Absolutely awful. On to sunnier climes. How about this? Well, not sunnier climes, but more competitive climes. Nice win for the Wild last night.
Yeah.
Took down those pesky, who'd they play? The Canadians.
Yeah, the Canadians suck this year. But
they do. It's always a good thing.
You got to beat the teams that suck, right?
That's very true. The Minnesota Wild will be welcoming the Colorado Avalanche. That's not till January 9th, but that doesn't mean you can't make plans already. In fact, we got a couple tickets right here, and we'd love to give them away, so hang tight.
The KQ Morning Show will be... It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on Minnesota's Classic Rock. 92 KQRS.
Good morning. That was War with Lowrider, of course. How cool is Eric Burden? Guy comes out of the north of England singing with a great band called The Animals, decides he's had enough of that, moves to L.A., meets this band called War and says, I'll sing with these guys. And then the Eric Burden and War albums are just outstanding.
Love them.
Groundbreaking stuff at the time, too. Spill the Wine, that was the big hit, but all those records top to bottom. And then he goes on about his way, and then War continues to just be a badass band for years.
Yeah.
But what an amazing thing that those days, late 60s, early 70s, he's from like Newcastle. I mean, way up there. And he's just in LA hanging out with a band that's mostly black and Latino dudes. And I'm like, what? But the music's music, man. I mean,
he can
crossing those bridges. Amazing.
Kid from Newcastle, England, and he does the blues better than just about any. I mean, not better, incredible. As good as some of the greats.
Yeah. Oh, no. He was absolutely just sensational. And the Animals were, of course, House of the Rising Sun, usually what people think of first, but all the way. And then, of course, fun fact, bassist for the Animals, Chas Chandler, discovered and managed Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, I don't think this bass thing's working. Maybe I'll just manage Jimi Hendrix and put a band together for him. Hey, every now and again, you're in the right place at the right time, and you go, I think I see the future.
I mean, I could listen to the Animals every frickin' day. Sometimes I do. It's one of my favorite bands. They're almost my Beatles. I mean, they're not as great as the Beatles, but I listen to the Animals probably more than the Beatles.
No, I get you. Well, you're an edgy cat. It's edgier music.
Yeah. Don't misunderstand me, Steve.
Yeah. Hey, the Minnesota Wild, pretty darn good hockey team if you haven't been paying attention. And I say that laughing because I know everybody has been paying attention. Hosting the Avalanche at the XL Energy Center January 9th. Post-holiday blues? Please. How about some hockey tickets to shake them off? We've got a couple tickets sitting right here, and we'd love to give them away. We need 2 people to call in. 651-989-ROCK is the KQ Talking text line. 651-989-ROCK. Callers 9 and 2 will play for sweet tickets, and that's SUITE and SWEET.
That's right.
Those sweet tickets are sweet, man. Yeah. We're going to give you tickets to see the Avalanche and the Wild January 9th. Oh, baby. Call in, get in the game. Let's have a good time. In the meantime, let's talk about Cottage Grove for a moment, shall we?
Broadway. That's my Broadway over there. You can have the Broadway in New York. Or the Broadway in the west side of London. I'll take the Broadway in Cottage Grove. Just a lot of damn good bars over there.
Right on. So some experience you have then. Yeah.
I haven't been over there in a while. I'm due for a trip down Broadway, just one of those pub crawl deals where you just literally crawl from one to the other. But no, it's just always just a lot of great I almost hesitate to call them dive bars, but dive bars to me, that's the tip of the pyramid. That's the zenith there. I say it with a lot of affection when I talk about dive bars, and you'll find some of the very best on Broadway.
Yeah, I just saw an article in one of the writers, I guess, in Minneapolis Magazine, just did a list of the 12 best or 10 best dive bars in Minneapolis, and I've been needing that list. I take everybody's recommendations, and of course the city's filled with them, and I've enjoyed many of them, but there was a few in here I hadn't even heard of yet, and I was like, oh, thank God. Yeah, all right. Gives me more places to put on the, what are the things the kids are always looking for? The Pokemon. They're driving around looking at their app trying to capture Pokemon in the parks and stuff. Right. Yeah, I'm like that with the dive bars. I'm just I just gotta keep checking them off the list. All the great watering holes in the Twin Cities. And my God, are there plenty of them.
Yeah, I was just looking them up while you're chatting over there on Broadway. Frank's on Broadway, of course, and the 328. Oh, look at that burger, man. All right, anyway, good morning, Cottage Grove.
Yeah, no kid. Hey, Cottage Grove, what's up? Hey, Cottage Grove, let's pour one together. Let's pour a few down, shall we? All right, we got a couple people locked and loaded, ready to play a game. Yep. The only question right now is, Tony, what are we going to subject our dear listeners to?
Pondered this. Okay, this is a new thing. We're going to try this out. Hopefully it'll be fun. So criminals aren't, they're not always criminal masterminds. Nope. They're usually big dummies, and what they try to get away with is often very entertaining. So it sometimes blurs the lines between real ridiculous and made-up ridiculous. So we're going to give you an incident of crime, and you tell us, did it really happen, or is it made up, real or fake?
You're talking about little kid or drunk adult.
Yeah, very similar.
Oh, this is fantastic. All right, well, let's introduce ours. Let's bring out the contestants to see what they say. Who's contestant number one, Tony?
First up is Mike from Farmington.
Mike, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mike, give me your favorite.
Happy Friday.
Thank you. Happy Friday. Give me your favorite band.
Pink Floyd.
The Floyd. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
It'd have to be the Vikings.
As always, the tail off at the end of that, But that we understand, Mike. You don't have to explain a thing. It's great to have you with us on the show. We're probably going back and forth here, I would imagine. That. So let's bring on contestant number 2. Who we got?
Hey, Sean from Minneapolis.
Sean, good morning.
Good morning.
Sean, how do you spell that? S-E-A-N?
S-E-A-N. You got it.
Attaboy. I prefer the appropriate spelling of that name.
That's seen.
That's exactly. He feels seen now. Sean, give me your favorite band.
Favorite band is The Suburbs.
The Suburbs. There's a local angle for you. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
How about a throwback Minnesota North Stars?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
And then the Wild.
Good memories. Yep. No, we'll take him. All right. Say yes to the arrest, gentlemen. Here we go. Mike, you're up first. Good luck to both of you.
All right, Mike, we've all heard of dine and dash. How about grind and dash? A Pennsylvania man was enjoying a lap dance at a gentleman's club until he suddenly decided he didn't want to pay the agreed-upon fee of $40 and tried to bolt from the club, but he was arrested on charges of petty theft and released after he posted a bond of course, $40. Is that real or fake?
Real.
It is real.
Yes.
Silly man.
Going into a strip club with no money? Come on, man. Those are working women. They've got a medical degree to get.
There's a joke somewhere in the fact that when you described that event, all I could hear in the background was a flute playing. I don't have time to connect the dots, but it's out there.
Sean, here's yours. After a Georgia-Florida football game, a fan passed by a group of mounted police, stopped and punched one of the police horses in the face. He stood in a fighting stance until he was handcuffed, arrested, and charged with causing harm to a police animal, disorderly intoxication, and resisting arrest. Is that real or fake?
Well, it's the Florida man, so I'd say it's real.
It is real.
Oh, yeah.
Punched a horse, Mongo style.
The Georgia-Florida game every year, you know what it's known as? Mm-hmm. The world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Oh, yeah.
Mongo only pawn in game of life.
That's right. That's right. Go punch that horse. If you don't throw some Alex Karras out there, you're missing the whole point.
Back to Mike. College freshmen in Iowa staged a mock wrestling championship in the courtyard of their dorm, filling a giant storage bin with Jell-O and doing stunt dives into it, blasting music and wearing only briefs. Things went too far when a campus officer was pushed into the Jell-O vat and the lid was closed. Patrol cars swarmed the block, and 7 wrestlers in underwear were arrested and held without bail. Is that real or fake?
I'm going to say fake, but it's probably real.
Good call. It is fake.
You know, because you said Iowa. I'm like, Iowa just doesn't have that.
It
much
is
moxie,
Iowa.
right? Yeah, they don't. That's too advanced.
They don't have anything else to do.
You know why it didn't happen in Iowa? Because they
Why?
take real
Sorry,
wrestling way
sorry,
too
Zep.
seriously there. We don't make jokes about wrestling. It's our identity.
Yeah, the cops wouldn't have crashed it. The Iowa wrestling team would have been over there shutting that down.
Furious. How dare you make a mockery of this beautiful endeavor?
All right, Sean. All right, scene. A man from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin was arrested after he assaulted an elderly Shriner and stole his go-kart from the 4th of July parade and led police on a low-speed chase on the go-kart until he jumped the curb, crashed into the glass door of a liquor store, ran inside, and tried to defend himself by throwing bags of ice at the cops. Is that real or fake?
Wisconsin, guys. Yes, it is true.
I'm sorry, that was made up. Oh, no!
I was going with real too just because it was Scotty. Of course, we all remember the late, great Whitey up there in Grantsburg who stole the local police truck to drive it in the parade.
Oh, really?
Nice. Where's he going? Oh, just in the parade.
Inconspicuous.
Something like that. I may have gotten my details wrong up there in Grantsburg. I apologize. It's been a few years.
We're back to Mike. Mike, 2 brothers in Miami were home and started to make dinner. An argument broke out, and one brother stabbed the other in the neck with a fork. When police showed up, they rushed the forked brother to the hospital and found the other brother hiding in a tree outside, still holding the fork and a bottle of sriracha. And when asked what had happened, he said he became agitated when his brother kept, quote, talking over the food. Is that real or fake?
Real.
It is real.
Like he went up the tree with the fork and the bottle of sriracha.
Yeah.
You know, I thought he might be up there a while.
Good climber.
If you're going to have to eat some bark, you better put a little sriracha on it.
All right, Shawnee. Sean, a Kansas City man saw officers demonstrating their squad car computer system to a group of kids. He asked how the equipment worked. The officers agreed to show him using the man's ID as an example. He gave them his license, and moments later, he was in cuffs, as information on the screen showed that the man was wanted for armed robbery in St. Louis from 2 years ago.
Oh, that's definitely real.
Yes, it is.
You gotta love it when they catch themselves.
It's
a smooth criminal.
They can't help themselves.
Every year you still hear about a sting where the police just email 200 guys and say, we've got Yankees tickets for you. And they're like, awesome. And they show up and it's like, no one's giving you baseball tickets, you idiot. You're wanted for arrest.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's great.
Are we back to Mike or Sean?
We're back to Mike.
Back to Mike. 4 people in Southern California were arrested for insurance fraud after they claimed their cars were entered and damaged by a bear. Showed a video as proof, but upon investigation, it was determined that the bear was actually one of the men dressed up in a bear costume.
Oh, boy. I'm going to say false.
Oh, I'm sorry. We just talked about that yesterday. It did happen.
would have never thought of that.
Talking about that.
I mean,
That's a little bit.
that's pretty far out there. But hey, whatever works. But I mean, if they found the bear suit.
Yeah. I mean, I love the neighbor was all about it. But then they find that bear suit. I would have never thought of that.
It's a great idea.
Incredible.
All right, this is our last one. It's Mike or Sean.
It's Sean.
Sean
We need this one, Sean.
God.
All right, Sean, my man. A Chicago man was arrested and taken from his makeshift lemonade stand. The sign captured the officer's attention as it was written as "Fancy Lemonade, $10." Turns out what made it fancy was he mixed in his own pee.
Oh.
Real or fake?
I want to say real, but it's fake.
It is fake. It's made up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
Made her
Sean
up.
pulled out the last-minute tie with that one. So, gentlemen, that means we have a tiebreaker. Tony's going to ask a question that has nothing to do with the current subject matter. You're both going to give an answer. Closest to the correct answer will win the tickets. Good luck, gentlemen. Mike, you're going to answer first.
Okay.
All right, this question is kind of crimey. How many times is the F-bomb used in the movie Goodfellas?
Wow.
225.
All right.
Okay. Sean, what do you think?
I was actually thinking higher than that, so I'll just go 226.
All right.
Call. The actual number is 246.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Man, snuck that one out. Sean, you've won the tickets, brother.
buddy.
Congratulations. Mike, great effort
Thank
on
you.
your part.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you both for calling in and playing. Well done.
Have a great weekend.
We'll see you.
Hey, you guys, we have to beep some audio here. We beeped some this morning of the guys in the traffic circle fighting it out. They dropped
Yeah, we did.
a mother effer, and I would hate to have to beep Goodfellas. You'd be at it for a while.
God, forget it. The machine would be smoking. It's like they used to say about the auto-tune in Nashville studios when Taylor Swift was recording vocals. The auto-tune machines have smoke coming out of the back before they were finished. She actually became a much better singer, but in the early days it was a little shaky. I mean, you gotta say this. Hey, if you ever you go to the store, you buy food, you get something to go, you buy your pot pie or something, you're going to put it in there. It's always a really good idea to read the small print. You never know what you're going to find. You might even find, someone's last thoughts. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good Friday morning. It is November the 15th, and the High Court in England has ruled. Well, let me go back just a quick minute. There was a question about the validity of a last will and testament in England. A gentleman named Malcolm Chenery died in 2021. He left his entire estate that included a 3-bedroom house, jewelry, cash, an extensive collection of ornaments and pottery. Okay. Malcolm left all of this to a charity. A charity called Diabetes UK, which obviously is helping those with diabetes. The reason this has taken 3 years in court to determine whether or not his last will and testament was valid, he didn't go to his attorney or his solicitor, as they might say. He didn't draw it up on a legal contract.
Yeah.
He didn't say, here I am of sound mind and quality and blah, blah, blah. He didn't do all that. No, he opened up a box of frozen fish. And then another box full of, there was Young's frozen fish. He opened up the box. And he also opened up a box of Mr. Kimpling mince pies.
What?
2 cardboard boxes.
All right.
And then hand wrote, like pen to cardboard box inside a lengthy last will and testament explaining where he wants everything to go.
Didn't Bob Dylan do the same thing with Blowing in the Wind?
Pretty much. I think it was a Gorton's frozen fish sticks. That's right. That's exactly what it was.
Chicken pot pie.
Yeah, man. The charity Diabetes UK was happy to accept this as a valid last will and testament. It was challenged. The informal will, again, spread across 2 separate pieces of packaging. The High Court took a while to finally come out and say, you know what, this is valid. This guy clearly wrote this. There was several witnesses saw him sign his name at the bottom of the second packaging, but nobody could say they actually saw him write out the first part. But it's one continuous document. He just needed 2 boxes of cardboard frozen food packaging to get it done.
You think somebody from the Diabetes Institute over there, foundation, whatever he's willing it to, cook this up?
I tell you what, man.
Wouldn't they do something a little bit better? Like, I don't know, use a legal pad at least or something like that. But it does remind, I had to write something down the other day. I'm on the phone with someone. They're like, all right, we got your confirmation number. You will need this. Can you write this down? I'm like, okay, aren't you emailing it to me?
Yeah.
No. Can you write this down? I went, oh my God, I don't even know if I own a pen anymore.
Yeah.
And I was looking around. I'm surprised I didn't and grab the old fish sticks box out of the
It's right there
freezer.
for you when you need it.
You don't have that anymore, just the pad. Maybe a lot of people do, but I don't.
No, no, I'm with you. I have you're looking at it right here in between where you and I sit is a big tub full of pens, and I look at it every day, and I think to myself, I should have one of those with me. Like, I should put one in my laptop bag.
Yeah.
And I never do. But the day's going to come when I'm like, damn, I need a pen. But the court did rule this is a valid last will and testament. We're going to let this happen. They said the statement written says, look, the 2 pages are written in the same pen. They were written at the same time. This is overlapping subject matter. And so this is all well and good. So Diabetes UK will receive this entire estate. The guy's got some nice penmanship. I mean, you can read it pretty clearly. They have photos of it. And he's directing every bit of this stuff with going into specifics about this pottery and jewelry collection my man had come up with. And it brings to mind a few other bizarre last will and testament things. Remember the woman Leona Helmsley? She was the hotelier, billionaire, and
just beautiful woman.
Yeah, wonderful on the inside. From everyone that ever this is a woman who died and nobody could be nice about it. Right. They were like the biggest bitch I've ever met in my life.
Like a hotel heiress or something. Yeah.
Everyone hated this woman. She left when she died in 2007. She had $4 billion. She instructed her entire estate to go towards the service and care of her dogs.
Oh, that bitch. I mean, the dog.
Yeah. When you leave $4 billion to your pets, you've missed every red marker along the way for how wrong you're doing life.
I think she had a rosebud moment there.
Oh, my God.
During that last gasp.
I've never met anybody who treated me with dignity. Well, yeah, because you are clearly doing something wrong.
Well, I mean, that was back when you had to earn $1 billion as a woman, too, the hard way. It's not a .com thing where it was just gifted to you overnight.
Completely insane.
I guess you had to be ruthless.
Her 9-year-old Maltese, whose name was Trouble, was given directly $12 million in the will.
I'm sorry, what was the name of that?
Trouble.
Trouble turned out to be a savvy investor and grew that.
The grandchildren, she had grandchildren, they were either cut out completely, or if they wanted to make some money, they had to visit their father's grave annually.
Well,
just once.
It's like a really low bar.
Think about the fact that my grandchildren, I have to force them with threat of not giving them their inheritance to go to the grave annually. Like, they don't want to go anyway.
Yeah.
This is just a happy family, huh?
Fun.
Boy. Just what's a Helmsley Thanksgiving dinner like all these years later?
Just warm hugs and tears.
My God, the misery
singing around the
everyone
hearth.
in a different room.
Well, that's the Zepp Thanksgivings can turn that after about a case of beer.
I would love to take all of the people from that. Let's take the Helmsley family, all the grandchildren who are now all adults. Let's put them on a reality show where they have to go do like lawn work.
How has that not been thought of already?
This is a weed eater. Here, you're going to have to learn how to thread the line in.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't understand. I mean, just watching them try to figure out a leaf blower, for God's sakes.
You had Paris Hilton trying to cook there for a while. Yeah. That was funny.
I guess. Yeah. But anyway, so if you're looking for... this just means... And by the way, there's never a time when there's not a frozen pot pie in my freezer.
Yeah.
I'm just the one... I'll never outgrow the frozen pot pie.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about that now. Like, I'm just gonna, next time I open that bad boy up, I'm going to hang on to that box. I'm going to open it up. I don't know if I'll draw a last will and testament, but maybe a doodle if nothing else.
Yeah, those new pot pies, you need the box to cook it now. You got to kind of cook it in the... that's the microwave version,
Yeah, because it's got the film or whatever.
Yeah, I have a thing against ovens. And it's called cleaning them when I move out, so I don't use them.
The KQ Talk and Text line, we were talking earlier about if you could get control of a MnDOT sign, what would you put up there? What words would you post on the sign? Because every few years, somebody hacks into a DOT sign link somewhere and gets some stuff up there. This was prompted by someone in Florida. got into a Florida dot sign. They were able to put the words "large penis ahead" on the sign, which, again, I mean, that's one of those things. That's one of those, like, it's a funny idea. It's funny to say you do it, but to actually go through with it and do it, you know, it's like when you're at a truck stop and you see a crazy sticker or a T-shirt. And I laugh at you laugh at it, but then you're like, but then someone actually bought it and wore that shirt. You know what I mean? Just like, I mentioned this last summer at the fair. We went out on the first Friday of the fair. We've been out there the last 2 years, but my first year, we're talking to people and we're all hanging out and it's very nice. But a guy walked by and he didn't come to say hi to us, but I saw a gentleman, an older guy, like at least our age, like not a kid. And he had a T-shirt that said, "I'm not a gynecologist, but I'm happy to have a look." And I just thought, okay, if I saw that shirt on a hanger at Spencer Gifts in the mall, I would laugh. Yeah. I wouldn't think about buying it. And if I did buy it, it would be specifically for one place where I'd know one person with, I'd wear it to a friend's house. This guy's out walking around. There's 100,000 people out there, and he just walked.
And rest assured, he's never seen
no.
vagina in his
I
life.
just thought, wow, that's such a commitment right there.
I know. Could have worn the Ralph Lauren polo, but no, I'll choose this.
The hubris. I admire I don't know, just the confidence. Just to walk out like that and walk around. Yeah. No, maybe he lost a bet. Maybe he lost his fantasy football league.
You know what? It didn't even occur to me. You're exactly right. Now that you just talk about adding in funny to funny. That's actually much funnier.
Out there right now is a fantasy football league. Manager that's going. I think I've got the perfect.
Searching for that shirt.
There he is.
That is outstanding. It's really, really good. Yeah.
I told you when I was out at Sturgis, I've said too many times, there's a mom pushing a baby down the sidewalk with a onesie on the baby that said, "My dad only wanted a blowjob."
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But he got me instead. What a gift.
Oh, well.
I told you guys at the state fair, I saw, the T-shirts that say, "I'm with stupid," and there's an arrow pointing to the side.
Yeah.
There was a guy wandering, and it said, "Loves it in the ass," with an arrow pointing to the side.
Oh, come on.
He chose that.
Oh, my God.
And out the door he went.
Every time you tell me that, it's like the first time I heard it, my reaction.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless.
That's
God
very,
bless.
very good.
America, right
very,
there.
Very good. I saw one. I mean, I've seen this several times, but I always like the one. Said yes to drugs.
Yeah.
Okay. To say no to drugs.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's always a good one. There's the other one with the arrow pointing down, emotional support penis. I've seen that one before too.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you gotta, you just never know. You never know where. Oh wait. It's. I'm getting it. It's. Oh yeah. It looked like one of those signs where it's like two human figures, very, very sparse.
Yeah.
And it's a boat, and there's a couple obviously having relations, and it says, "I support offshore drilling." And again, you get the idea, but someone went through with it, someone printed it, someone bought it, someone's wearing it down the street.
Yeah, that's right, man.
You gotta love it. Hey, check this out. The Trans-Siberian Orchestra are bringing their holiday hits on tour. Speaking of offshore drilling, and you could see them in the city of your choice: Phoenix, Tampa, Nashville, Atlanta. It's your call. One winner is going to score 2 premium tickets to the TSO concert of their choice, plus round-trip air, a 3-night hotel stay, plus a $1,000 gift card. Text the national keyword guitar to 95819 for a chance to win. How about the top 5 at 9? That's next. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
Good Friday morning. It is November the 15th. Very, very nice to be with you as we kick the weekend off in style. Maybe it's in style. I don't know. It seems like it should be in style. I mean, I'm feeling stylish.
Yeah,
Aren't
I
you,
think
Tony?
Yeah, I am. I'm just looking down and not happy with what I see, but stylish, sure.
Okay, just
Look at
making
us all.
sure.
I've got a wrinkled old flannel on. Surprise, Ryder's wearing black today.
It's my KQ t-shirt.
Yeah, it is your KQ t-shirt.
There we go.
Like that.
Oh, look at us. We're feeling good. Let's get this thing off
pretty.
and let's get this bad boy off the blocks and back on the road. It's time for your top 5 at 9. Here's the stories that we want to share with you. At the top of the 9 o'clock hour, the most popular gas station in each state has been determined. Americans love gas station chains. We're a loyal bunch.
Yeah, we are.
We look out for our favorite chains. Down south, you've got Buc-ee's. In the northeast, Philadelphia area, you got Wawa. The mid-Atlantic states, Wawa is your gas station. Great hot food. They got, it's like a combination fast food restaurant. Virginia, you'll see a place called Sheetz. Sheetz, which I said they're just trying to rip off Wawa. And then, of course, Sheetz people are like, you're trying to be like us, Wawa. And, it's a battle thing. My daughter goes to college in Virginia, so I'm familiar with Sheetz now. All right. Wawa, as I said, but here in your upper Midwest, big fans of, apparently, we put emphasis on, yes, we want gas, and yes, a bathroom's nice, but pizza.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Love to have that pizza at the gas station. So Casey's General Store is a hit. Speedway, no strangers to pizza, and a generous rewards program. Wisconsin, people like Quick Trip.
Well, we like them here in Minnesota, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I do. And, that pizza, they do put it front and center right there on the counter, don't they? And
they make it hard.
Oh, by the slice, piping hot. Quick Trip, I mean, they've just got everything.
You can get almost all your groceries at a Quick Trip.
I can get all my groceries at a Quick Trip. It's all right there. Yeah. And, no, I like it. Like I said, it's like I call it a redneck spa. It's all right there.
Get a massage, too.
Nice. I would think, if you ask the right person, hung out in the men's room long enough.
It's possible.
Maybe. But Holiday, they're a good one. Tony, you like the holidays?
I like the holiday Circle K.
Yeah. Yes. No, Rosemary's a big holiday fan.
Mm-hmm.
As I said before, she loves the ice. They got that good, the two types of ice and the little nuggets that she really appreciates. She's big on ice, man.
And what I appreciate about Holiday, there's one on both sides of the street.
Usually, yeah. Down south, there's a store in Tennessee called Twice Daily. That's what they call it. As in, you go on your way in and your way back to work. In the morning and on the way home, you stop by Twice Daily.
I gotcha.
And it always bothered me. I was like, I just hate that name. Like, stop.
Don't
Twice
assume.
Daily. Just
don't pressure me.
And then another chain showed up in the last few years that made me forget all about how much I hate Twice Daily. There is a group of gas stations you can find in the South called Sudden Service.
Sudden Service?
Sudden Service. And I'm like, did no one have a dictionary? Sudden. The definition of the word sudden. Occurring or done quickly and unexpectedly or without warning.
See, this is why I don't like to text you.
We didn't expect service. I didn't expect service here. What? It's like the chain is admitting we can't believe we actually serviced your needs. It was very sudden.
Would you, next time you're tooling around down south, go out of your way to pull into one to lecture them over the counter?
Don't think I haven't said that. And Rosemary Lou, she goes, what is wrong with you? Because I said to the guy, I go, what's this sudden service?
Oh,
and of course, it's just a dude. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, it's like, I think you mean to say quick service or like instant service. Sudden is the wrong word. And the guy literally looks at me like, I want to murder you.
I'm just not, he's thinking I'm not high enough for this.
Yeah.
I'm coming off my butt. You're harshing my buzz, bro.
I haven't been to a sudden service in 2 years and I'm just angry again.
Yeah.
If next time I'm down there, I'm going in and they're going to hear a piece of my mind again.
No, the fun ones, Come and Go, Pump and Munch. Now, didn't I hear Pump and Munch just got sold to someone with a boring name?
I thought it was Come and Go that was going to change their name.
I knew it was one of them.
Come and Go got sold to Maverick, so they're all going to become Mavericks. The Pump and Munch, we've got one not too far from work. As far as I know, they're still up and running.
Good. Yeah, right down on Energy Park or headed that way. Yeah, the old Pump and Munch.
Oh, man, the food there is freaking delicious.
Yeah, no, Maverick bought it. Then they renamed themselves Maverick Big and Hung. And it was just a weird, no one saw that coming. Now, that was a sudden situation. Number 4 on your top 5 at 9, and a company in the United Kingdom using artificial intelligence, they've created a new bot. Its name is Daisy, and Daisy is essentially your grandmother. What do grandmothers love to do? Catch up, chat, talk, tell you what's on their mind. Now, this is not designed so that someone who just wishes they could talk to their grandma utilizes it. No, it's a tool for you to get back at scammers who call you phone.
I love it.
And try to get, because you will answer a phone call occasionally and they'll put that hook in you and they want to talk your ear off. And now Daisy is here to help you.
So, W's then a dot.
3 times W and then dot.
I think your profession is bothering people, right?
I'm just trying to have a little chat.
It's nearly been an hour. For the love of...
Gosh, how time flies. It's showing me a picture of my cat, Fluffy.
It's showing you the picture of your cat, Fluffy.
Stop calling me dear, you stupid...
Got it, dear. Because while they're busy talking to me, they can't be scamming you. And let's face it, dear, I've got all the time in the world.
Oh, my God.
You can sick Daisy on the scammers who call your phone.
I love Daisy.
Because the scammer phone banks, they will not hang up. They're trying to keep you on, and Daisy will just keep them occupied for, as that one woman said, we've been on for over an hour.
And who's their prime P1 target? Old women, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The elderly in particular. I got an old woman on the line. I'm going to make this, and it's an AI just effing with you.
Yeah.
She was on the phone for an hour. What was it? I've been on the phone for an hour.
It's nearly been an hour. For the love of...
That's great.
Gosh, how time flies.
That's it. Number 3, I should say, on your top 5 at 9. Netflix tonight. Mike Tyson, 58-year-old Iron Mike, will be boxing 27-year-old internet douchebag Jake Paul.
Yeah.
From the Dallas Cowboys Stadium in Texas. You can watch it on Netflix. So much information about this fight. It's been building up for months. Mike Tyson, in an interview with the New York Times, said he smoked some, it was toad saliva. Venomous toad stuff. He's been smoking
whatever
that.
It takes, Mike.
God told him to get into this fight. I've seen several great tweets today. My favorite so far is, today I root for Mike Tyson and the remaining 8 monkeys, because some of those monkeys from South Carolina,
that's right,
they're still on the loose. And then my favorite one is, if Mike Tyson doesn't win, I think we should all just kill Jake Paul anyway.
Yeah, I love it. You and I were chatting off the air, and I said, I hope he's doing steroids, whatever it takes to beat this punk. And Steve goes, hell, give him a crack pipe before he jumps.
Whatever it takes. I want to see, because think about how far we've come, where Mike Tyson is the man of the people now.
Yeah, right.
Jake Paul is the guy we're all hoping to see, on his knees with a punch to the liver.
Yeah, and I don't want to, and I'm over the top Mike Tyson fan. I enjoyed his boxing. He certainly had his moments, but this is the Mike Tyson I want to not see tonight, because I'm going to be at the Golden Smog Show. But and you got to pay for it, I think, still on Netflix tonight. But if it's really a wild affair, then perhaps I'll stream it for free tomorrow on Netflix. Here's the Mike I want to see.
My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Yeah, that's it.
I hope that guy gets in the ring tonight.
At the end.
A little Alash. Remember that phase?
I will pummel your skull.
Man. There's no way. Jake Paul is a 27-year-old internet sensation. He's built up this whole YouTube channel just being a goofy dude. He cannot imagine anybody that's 27 years old right now. It can't possibly add up in their mind what a comet Mike Tyson was when he hit the scene.
Oh my gosh.
He was 21 years old, heavyweight champion of the world at 21, and was everywhere. The fame that dude, in the space of from 86 to 88, he went from 0 to $1 billion. He was he's up in the Adirondacks or something, training with Cus D'Amato.
Yes.
This 90-year-old trainer has this kid from Brooklyn, and a year later he's like one of the Beatles.
Yeah.
It's just like no one's prepared for that. He was definitely not prepared for that.
Golden God!
What's lost in the legend is what a great actual boxer he truly was.
Yeah.
Now, he would knock you out with one punch, but in the early days when he was still very focused, he was a boxing marvel as much as a punching marvel.
Yeah, I mean, really, right up there with Muhammad Ali. Before he got too rope-a-dope there in the 70s and kind of went in that direction, you go back and watch some of his early fights, maybe the greatest fighter ever.
Yeah.
Boy, if you could get it together, AI generate Muhammad Ali in his prime and Mike Tyson, but... Yeah, well, we'll see what Mike... Nobody wants to see a YouTuber frickin' beat up Mike Tyson, but...
No kidding.
We shall find out. This Jake Logan, by the way, you talk about douchebag. This was the guy that got famous by going over to Japan, and there is a forest there, a sacred forest, and people go there and commit suicide.
Right.
And they leave the bodies.
Yeah.
It's I don't understand it. It's a cultural thing, but he went over there and started filming that and putting it up on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Great backlash, but this is the quality of individual we're talking about here. Of course, Mike Tyson went to jail for rape, so...
Jake Paul, by the way.
What did I say? Jake Logan?
Yeah.
That's his brother.
Jake Logan. Oh, that's the...
Logan Paul and Jake Paul.
Oh, I wonder if that was the other one that went... Either way, Mike, just beat his ass.
They both came off the same douchebag tree. Doesn't really matter.
Beat him so bad that his brother feels it.
Yeah. Like I said, do you know how bad you have to be for Mike Tyson to be the man of the people? Come on. Number 2 on your top 5 at 9, Lindsey Vonn. There's a local girl.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. Lindsey Vonn is 40 years old. It has been 6 years since she last skied in an Olympic Games. She has had more surgeries on her legs than just about anybody you can name. And she has now decided, after a final surgery this past April where she had a partial knee replacement, hey, I'm no longer in pain. Yeah. And so what is she going to do? Return to competitive skiing.
Well, Lindsay, I mean, you got to, there's nothing like it. There's the adrenaline that you get. She's a downhiller, Super G, the speed events.
Yeah.
And, once you get that in you. And also, I think here the idea is she dominated, and I'm forgetting the name of the course in Italy, but she dominated on the World Cup at this particular course. I think won 12 downhill World Cups there, and that's where the Olympics will be held in February of 2026.
Yeah.
So if she can mount to come back here in this next season, she might set herself up for another medal at the Olympics. But yeah, it's her body. Go for it.
Heck yeah.
Go for it, Lindsay. Love to see you out there again.
It's just hard to even imagine at the age of 40 she could come back and get herself in the kind of shape and be able to compete. You've got the kid, what's her name, Michaela Schifrin, who's breaking all of her records, who's still very much in her prime.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if nothing else, Michaela Schifrin's working out a little extra hard today. I guarantee you that. She's like, wait, I just took your place and now you're coming. You bitch. Hey, real quick shout out to our friends over in North St. Paul. Good morning, North St. Paul.
You say North St. Paul, all I hear is Newman's Bar, one of the great bars in Minnesota. The vintage car shows up there in the summer, and of course, I've hung out there many times.
Yeah.
Love me some Newman's. Yeah, great bar.
Opens at 10 a.m.
1887.
Maybe I'll swing by today for lunch. Maybe I will. 1887.
1887. Oldest bar in the state.
Yeah. Been making us feel good for a long time.
Yeah, they have. Absolutely. Speaking of making you feel good, we love you long time at First Avenue tonight.
Yeah.
Golden Smog is playing. Here's your number 1 on the top 5 at 9. Golden Smog at First Ave. Very much looking forward to this show. Mostly just because all you guys are coming out. That's going to be nice.
Yeah.
We're going to heckle you.
Yeah. Hey, and I'll tell you right now, kudos to the Star Trib for a nice article featuring Chauncey Gorman.
Oh, my God.
That was very nice.
Photo.
That picture.
Made the photo.
Yeah, it's on the KQ Facebook page if you want. Ryman Schneider, was that it?
Yes.
Chris ended up doing the interview, and fantastic interview. And but Chauncey with his nose in the camera right there. Freaking love it.
What a diva.
Yeah, no, he's Johnny on the spot, man. You pull out a camera and he's right there.
Yeah.
Cute.
What he's really thinking is, can I chew on that, please? So come out to First Ave tonight. It's going to be a great night. Looking very forward to that.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.